Boston's biggest heist is about to go down, but nothing goes as planned. A corrupt mayor, dangerous mobsters and two desperate thieves collide in a high-stakes game of survival. When a robbery at the wharf turns deadly, Rory and Cobby find themselves on the run, dodging police, escaping explosions and uncovering secrets worth millions. With a citywide manhunt closing in, their only shot at freedom lies in a risky final move. Will they make it out alive, or will greed and betrayal seal their fate? Watch till the end to see how this explosive crime thriller unfolds. The movie starts with a man named Rory who is having a session with his therapist Dr. Rivera. Rory struggles to explain his plans to his therapist. He says that he would have given himself a year to mend things in his life, and after that he will end his life. Dr. Rivera asks when did he decided that. He says, a year ago. Meanwhile, across town, Cobby Murphy was in the midst of an entirely different kind of conversation. The bar owner, Mr. Kelly, is fed up from him. Mr. Kelly warns him to stay away from crime. Cobby receives a call. The other person on the call tells him that there is a job. If he wants it, then he should meet him. Cobby and Rory meet Scalvo at his place, where they meet two mobsters, Besigye and DeChico. Besigye and DeChico tells them the plan. The job was simple on paper: rob the mayor's runoff election fundraiser. The cash would be flowing, the security would be lax, and they would be in and out before anyone knew what hit them. They will take the money before it gets picked up by an armored car. Rory asks them what is the other contestant named Mark Choi wins the election. Besigye angrily tells him that this is not possible. Rory then insists on getting exactly $32,480 as his share. Besigye, reluctant at first but agrees to give him share, even if his actual share from the stolen cash is more than that. The night of the job, the Rory and Cobby found themselves aboard a boat, meant to be their getaway vehicle. But as fate would have it, the engine sputtered and died, leaving them stranded in freezing waters. Cobby cursed under his breath as Rory struggled with the controls. By the time they made it to the mayor's event, they were cold, wet and already behind schedule. That was the least of their worries. What should have been a simple break-in turned into absolute chaos when they realized that the place crowded with people and Mark Choi has won the election. Rory then comments that I told you so, he is good candidate. Then they ask the security man to open the safe and finds that it is already empty. The money had already been moved. Left with nothing, they were forced to improvise, holding up guests and taking whatever valuables they could. So Scalvo decides to rob McSally and his inner circle instead. He even takes McSally's bracelet. McSally is reluctant to give it at first, saying that it is his grandfather's, but Scalvo threatens him and McSally is forced to give it to them. Suddenly, the police chief tries to stop him, leading to a shootout. Scalvo and the chief both die and Cobby is shot in the shoulder. He and Rory escape using the armored car but later find out that there is a security guard at the back of the van. Cobby asks Rory to leave it as it is and run away. But Rory says what is there is cash in it. They open the back door and a security guard fires at them. Rory escapes the bullet and Cobby locks the door and they run away. Rory and Cobby then steals a car and hide at Kelly's house, which is the bar owner where Cobby hangs out. Rory calls DeChico for his share. DeChico, seizing the opportunity, asks Rory to hang it here and he will send someone. Rory tells him the address. But DeChico, he betrays them and sends two hitmen, Booch and Colony, to kill them. Meanwhile, McSally is desperate to get his bracelet back because it has the combination to his office safe. He orders Frank Toomey from the Special Operations Unit to recover it. Toomey questions DeChico, while Rory tells Cobby that he wants his share of the money to fix his relationship with his estranged son. Booch and Colony arrive to kill them, but Rory and Cobby had already cut the house's gas line. Cobby threatens Booch that as he fires the gun the whole house will explode. Rory and Cobby takes the car keys and the bracelet. As the house explodes, they escape with the bracelet. Rory takes Cobby to Dr. Rivera and forces her to help them, but she is willing to cooperate, only if Rory admits that he has held her as a hostage. After treating Cobby's gunshot wound, Rivera secretly calls the police. Rory finds out and is disappointed at Rivera. The police arrives just in time, forcing them to escape in her car. However, Rivera decides to stay with them and helps them survive a high-speed chase. They escape the police car by luck, and break into Mr. Kelly's empty bar but are soon confronted by Toomey. He takes Rivera and the bracelet, leaving Rory and Cobby behind. Surrounded by police, they cut the gas line again and escape just before the bar explodes. Cobby and Rory are in the city bus, where Rory asks him about the next plan. Cobby tells him that they should run off to Montreal, Canada. Rory tells him that it is not possible. They cannot pass the borders unnoticed, and they also cannot go on foot, as it peak winters and they will freeze to death. Since Cobby memorized the safe's combination, at the back of the mayor's bracelet, he and Rory decide to break into the mayor's office. They dress as firefighters and trigger the fire alarms at City Hall to sneak inside. While going into the building, a firefighter spots them and follows them. They run off and lock themselves in mayor's office. The firefighter on the other side tries to break the door, when Rory threatens him that he has a hostage and will throw him off the balcony. Locking themselves in the mayor's office with his legal advisor Alan Flynn, they open the safe and find millions of dollars in dirty money. Flynn offers to testify against McSally and gives them 2 hard drives filled with evidence of the mayor's crimes. The police surround City Hall and start shooting, hitting Cobby in the shoulder again. Rivera is sent inside to negotiate. She asks Rory if he is okay. She offers him to take the cash that he needed under her vest. Later she leaves with Flynn while Rory and Cobby push the safe out of the window. The money spills onto the street, causing chaos as the crowd rushes to grab it. Using the distraction, Rory and Cobby escape in a fire truck but are stopped by Toomey. They offer him the hard drives in exchange for their freedom, but he arrests them anyway. Meanwhile, Besigye and DeChico escape to a cabin and try to cross the Canadian border. McSally is arrested and Choi officially becomes the mayor. When Choi gets the hard drives, he finds that they contain account information worth $100 million in untraceable money. Realizing that he can keep the money as long as he doesn't press charges against Rory and Cobby, Choi decides to let them go. The police drops them off to a location where Cobby and Rory goes their ways. Rory reunites with his son watching him play, while Cobby visits Rivera at her home. In a mid-credits scene, it is shown Besigye and DeChico are found frozen to death in the wilderness, while trying to cross the border. So guys, what do you think of this recap? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe our channel to get more interesting movie recaps. See you in the next one.